fuck the low angle? I understand it with the wide shot. Okay, in the kitchen there was a wide shot, then you can't use if you are shooting on location in an actual palace or something. It's not a set and you can't move the fucking wall. I can understand a fucking wide shot through a fisheye lens that looks like fuck, 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 some fucking YouTube video. Something you would have seen some guy like making a video out of his snowboard trip or something with a GoPro and a fisheye lens. Oh, and a distorted view. But okay, I can understand it because you're going for a fucking wide shot. Okay, I got it. And you can't exactly uh, capture the whole scenery with a huge camera in closed fucking space. I get it. But here, you're doing not a wide shot. It's a huge fucking room, obviously. Huge fucking room, and you're doing a close up shot, okay? A close up shot, and you're going for a low angle fucking fuck. I feel like a fucking little person looking at everybody. Why the fuck these kind of angles? I I don't even know. Is it a creative choice or is the director slash cinematographer or whoever was in charge of making it a fucking low angle shot is a fucking retard or not? I don't even get it. It feels like I'm watching a nostalgia critic video. He also loves to shove the camera like uh, up his nostrils, like put it at his belly level and point it in the ceiling. I don't know with him either. I don't get it. Is it a creative choice, or he just doesn't know any better? But his videos look horrendous. The cinematography of his videos are always horrendous. The only thing that I'm thankful for that videos are in focus and at least the subjects are more or less centered. Like that's the best you can hope for in a nostalgia critic video. But I do not I should not get flashbacks to nostalgia critic videos from a fucking Academy Award nominated motion picture. Like why? How? What the fuck? Like it's horrible. It's been like about 9 minutes in, and cinematography is horrendous. Like I rarely see it, and you should not. You usually should not even notice cinematography. This is when it's done correctly. When you don't even notice it. 9 minutes in, and I've been noticing it every fucking frame. This is not looking good, but maybe it will get better. I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand. I've been watching it for 17 minutes thinking it's Keira Knightley. I'm beginning to doubt my initial impression. Uh, it's not Keira Knightley, it seems. I don't know. It's weird. I really don't understand what it is, why this is the way it is, but they keep going with the low angled shots and it ruins the experience for me. It's like I'm lying on the floor watching things happening, and it's distracting. It's annoying. I don't know if the cinematographer didn't have level with him. Fucking hell, man. I can't concentrate enough on the action because it's so distracting. Because every other shot, I'm thinking like, mm, this location, this crew, this costume design, these actors, and you fucking ruining everything by not just not pointing the camera at the right angle. It's just off by 1-2 degrees. And all of that is a big waste. All of that work of the whole crew, cast, costume design, location, beautiful, everything, and just this couple of degrees. They just take away everything. To me, it ruins the whole thing. I don't even know if it was nominated for cinematography. I will fucking die if it was. Like, who in their right mind would do that? I think it was nominated for acting, and it is. It has great acting. That's fantastic. I like it, but cinematography is kind of an integral part of filmmaking. It kind of is. I don't fucking know what's happening here. Like, this is a thing that is supposed to be good by default. Like cinematography and editing. These are two things that's supposed to be good by default. You're not even supposed to mention those things. They should be good. Like, you can't have sometimes bad acting, good acting, bad costume design, but script, bad script, good script, but editing and cinematography, kind of the things that you expect to be in pristine condition by default. At least from the things that are nominated for something. I assume these people have a good track record. Like Emma Stone and Rachel Weisz. By the way, the person that I thought was Keira Knightley turns out to be Rachel Weisz, okay? They kind of look similar. I don't know. I have actually trouble like recognizing faces and telling faces apart. That's a running theme with me in life too. And maybe it's just my problem. But well, it's not a problem, it's just a thing that I have. So, yeah, like they agreed to take part in this production. They probably took a look at the script. They took a look at the like track record of the director, and they were like, "Yeah, yeah, I can trust you with my. I will put my name on your thing. I will put my name on your piece of art, and I trust your fucking little fucking hands. I entrust my career in your little fucking hands, and I hope that you will make something good out of this thing." And I can't say I can't say that there is bad directing. Directing is pretty okay, like serviceable, nice. But the way the camera is positioned, like in 85% of what I've seen so far, is horrendous. It's just horrendous. I don't know what's happening here. I'm not sure. Like I said, I assume that these people have a good track record. Nobody will let you come anywhere near a production with names like Rachel Weisz, Emma Stone, etc., attached to the production. If you don't have a good track record, if you don't have a good credits, like good portfolio, like I'm dying to see what the cinematographer did before. Like I don't know if the cinematography is a retard or it was the director's choice to position everything at a fucking butt level, crotch level, and have the ceiling of the sky to be 3/3 of the shot. And I don't fucking I don't know. This is annoying. This is annoying, and it probably distracts me from the rest of the movie, so I can't see any other flaws. So apart from that, apparently it's flawless. I don't know. Okay. Okay, that was a cutesy little scene that I really appreciated. First of all, this film acknowledged a lot of sexual harassment and sexual assaults that were going on in the traditional medieval cultures. So it didn't make it too too heavy because the film still is going for comedic tone, but it made the viewer aware that the filmmakers are aware. of the problem in those societies and current society. But the point is, this guy who's apparently something, a gentleman, so not a manual laborer. He he likes our Emma Stone, so he came into her quarters at night, all dressed up. I must say he looked kind of fly for, for those kind of times. So he came in full makeup and a wig, and he was no Jeffree Star. So they intentionally made it look ridiculous and ugly. So no, meant she so to make a point that she disapproves. So she did not like his makeup and wig and threw him out. And the guy who probably coached him how to behave with a lady was waiting outside, and he's like, a man must look pretty, and he's like, well, I don't think she approves. um I would really like them to handle it a little bit different, because sometimes men do look better with makeup. Like, why should only women wear it? Why should only women go through hardship of putting on fucking tons of gallons of makeup and whatnot to make themselves look appealing? In the animal kingdom, like, females look a little bit shitty, and males, especially look at the peacock. Like, Peacock has his full game on. He opens his tail up, he just shows what he's got, and he gets laid because, yeah, he has a very, very nice dress of feathers. So I really would have, I don't know, I like that they made a point of it to show a fully a dressed up a dressed up and male in full makeup. It actually nailed it. It went for comedy. It uh, showed respect to the period, uh, and it also show respect to the audiences, modern audiences, knowing how they would react. So this scene worked on every single level. It was amazing. Um, but like I said, well, his makeup was shit. Like I said, it wasn't a Jeffree Star approved. No way. Probably, if it was a la Jeffree Star, or then there would be a different outcome, perhaps. Who knows? Who knows? But like, I appreciated that little touch to show how the role reversal in the world. Oh yeah, yeah, how it used to be like males wore makeup and now females wear makeup, and it's like, oh, oh, there is something. I'm making a statement here, but not really. I'm just making a joke. I appreciated that. Well, I didn't hate this movie, but to be named the best UK film, but again, probably there wasn't much of a competition there. So it's understandable on one point, on one hand. While I was watching the film, I was very annoyed by the cinematography, and I couldn't understand for the life of me. I couldn't understand. I couldn't understand why would anybody do that. And what was odd is half of the shots, not half, certain percentage of the shots were fantastic, were absolutely stellar, something that I would expect from this kind of a caliber, a movie of this kind of caliber, that has A-listers. A-list stars will not sign up for a film if they don't see either a fantastic script or a director with a superb track record. So it was either one of those things. Either they loved the script and was their baby, their idea, or it was a director who generated a certain buzz. Even if not financially successful director, but not even critically, but there are directors who don't get much love from critics and don't get very high numbers at the box office, but they have a distinct style and interesting enough uh, creative approach to filmmaking, that they get a certain reputation in in filmmaking circles, and it's really interesting, and you want to work in their project once there is a word out that this director has a project. Um, it just everybody gets excited and everybody wants to be in it. Well, most people, most stars. So, and I couldn't imagine that a director like that would hire some retard to make his cinematography. But again, half of it was fantastic, and not half. Some of it was fantastic, some of it was atrocious. And then I realized on IMDb, apparently, during production, the cinematographer that was initially hired for the job had to leave, and they hired somebody else. Somebody else stepped in to finish the cinematography. So I have no idea which one of them did what, but you can clearly see there is a drastic difference between certain shots in the way they are set up. Some of them are set up professionally and interesting. Some of them are set up like I said it, like a guy was filming his snowboard trip or kayaking trip or whatever fucking trip, or I don't know, stunts, jackass stunts in the backyard or something. That kind of level of cinematography. What saves it, even if the shots are horrendous, what's in the shot saves it, because Rachel Weisz in those clothes was amazing. The stunning costume design, it's absolutely amazing. I don't know if it's time period accurate. She's not riding a horse in a lady's seat when but she's riding the horse like a guy. I'm not sure if it's accurate. I can say that it looks fantastic, it looks good, but I don't think it's historically accurate. I don't know. I didn't do much research on it, but just from off the top of my head, the ladies' seat were obligatory even in the beginning of the 20th century, let alone in the 18th century where this takes place. Even like the beginning of the 18th century. So, like early 1700s. So I don't know how accurate that is, and but when you're making a movie, and if you're not making a historically, mostly historically accurate piece, if you're just using certain historical events as a basis, as inspiration, mostly, then I can see a little bit of artistic leeway, and you go for what looks good, not what was actually there, what did actually happen, or how it actually happened, but you go for what looks good, which what looks more enticing, entertaining, just good, just what makes sense artistically. Because you can never recreate a historical event 100% accurate. You can never do that. It's hard enough to recreate something that happened like last month, and to recreate it for the jury during the trial, to reconstruct it is very difficult, near impossible to recreate it exactly like it happened, let alone something that happened 300 years ago. You can't recreate exactly how it happened. So certain leeway is allowed. So I let the that seat slide. So she's riding a horse like a man, and I'm fine with it. All the scenes with her dressed like a jockey, like during her firearm practice, were amazing. But again, most of them were ruined by the fucking camera positioning. Well, not ruined, but tarnished. They weren't ruined because she saved them. Rachel Weisz did, and whoever designed the costumes. Uh, the uh, the acting was superb. Like, I have no problems with the acting, both from the Queen, from the Lady Churchill, Sarah Churchill. She's apparently the ancestor of actual the Prime Minister Churchill, and Lady Diane. So, in a very interesting, twisted irony of the universe, her descendants might be the king of England someday. The Lady D's son will most likely be the king of England one day. So it's kind of weird. Queen Anne's lineage was cut off, but Lady Churchill's lineage ended up ruling the kingdom. It's interesting. It's just interesting. And yeah, and of course Emma Stone, her name, the girl. Yes, they all were fantastic. But my biggest problem was with the cinematography. What that was the objective problem, and I just didn't like the movie. I didn't hate it. I don't regret watching it, but it's not something I would like to watch again. There were some funny moments here and there, and it really, in some ways, it really makes history become alive before your very eyes. You understand the dynamics between the queen and the parliament a little bit better watching this film, and the power dynamics and the power play behind the scenes, how it was going on. It was interesting to see. And apparently, in real life, uh, Lady Chamberlain, oh, Lady, Lady Churchill, she uh, she accused Queen Anne and Emma Stone's character Abigail of lesbian relationship. She was so desperate to regain her power over the queen that she was going for it. She was trying to sabotage Abigail in any way she could, even just by shaming the queen. Uh, I I don't know why they didn't go with it, because in the movie they play with the idea. Rachel Weisz threatens to do that, but doesn't go through with this. But in the movie they show that. Okay, of course, spoilers. Spoilers. um, Rachel Weisz and Queen Anne have a lesbian relationship. So this is how we see the power dynamic go, and Abigail just comes in and basically just flashes herself and steals Queen's heart. And that's how it goes, I guess. Again, we don't know that because there were accusations on Lady Churchill's part, but um, there is no, as far as I know, actual proof that she had lesbian relationship with Queen Anne, and then Abigail came and did the same. So this whole thing seemed very forced a little bit. In a way, it seemed very forced and natural at the same time. I don't know how they managed this, but you're watching it and thinking, this is kind of doesn't make sense. And on the other hand, yeah, maybe it could happen that way, but we'll never know. So it's better to see the movie as a movie, not as actual source of your knowledge of history. You don't take that to your class, to your history class, to your history test, and cite this movie as a source. No, you just watch it as a piece of entertainment. You can't cite this movie as a source in your academic work. It's not considered an accurate source of information on history. It's just to create a certain, mm, a certain not even atmosphere, but a certain presentation for the general public who do not consider themselves historians, who never heard about these stories, but they would like to see them and to have them just in the back of their mind that okay, I kind of know, I kind of see there was a queen like that, there was like this power dynamic among these three women, but yeah, it's not a valid source for to gain your knowledge of history from. It's definitely not. So if you want to just a piece of interesting entertainment, yeah, you can watch this. But I really, it's my personal thing, I guess. I don't like period pieces. I don't like films or um, that are based on actual historical events because, again, you can't recreate them 100%. Rather, make up the whole thing. That's why I like the concept of the Game of Thrones. He made up the whole thing, and what you see is what you get. What you see, you know exactly this is what happened because it happened in his mind, the author's mind. So you know 100%, there is no chance there was any other way. This is how he wrote it, this is how it happened. And he can do anything with these characters. He has the free reign over these characters, and you never know what he's gonna do with them, and he does whatever he wants. That's what I actually prefer. I don't watch Game of Thrones because I tried watching one episode. First of all, the names are all fucked up. I couldn't I don't know, if I hear different names, like weird fucking names, it freaks me out. I don't know what's happening. First of all, it was when there were no strong female characters, there was just dudes. I'm like, why do I want to watch some dudes being dudes like in a medieval time setting? Medieval times, females had no say, no power over anything. So I'm like, I don't really like to mentally travel to some fucked up time. Like, I don't want to do that. There was some weird shit, like somebody was cutting somebody else's dick off. I'm like, okay, no, no, I'm not, I don't want this. There's a little brothel, there were females used just for sex. If that was not bad enough, there was like people coming in trying to cut off somebody's dick. I'm like, okay, this is abuse all across the board, and I don't really want to want to watch that. I don't want to be in this environment. When I watch a movie, when I watch a TV show, when I read a book, I travel to that place. I live in that place. And if I don't like that space, at that place, and that environment, and the atmosphere and the feel, I why would I force myself to it? Bad enough I can't move to a place where I want to be, like physically. But when it comes to entertainment, to book, show, movie, you're free to click off. It's like it's free. It's free. You don't have to watch it. You can travel to watch something, the most beautiful, amazing world, and to mentally to place yourself in the most beautiful, amazing place, and to mentally place yourself into the worst possible place cost the same amount of money. In real world, in physical world, of course, to live in a fucked up place costs a lot less than living in a good, amazing place. So you are bound by the budget. But when it comes to mental entertainment, mm, the budget is the same for the fucked up place and for the amazing place. So why would I put myself in a fucked up place? And returning to the favorite. So nothing wrong with acting. Can't say anything. But the story itself, like I said, I'm trying to disassociate myself from the, not myself, but the story from the actual historical event. I want to try to put them apart so they were different. And on its own, it's semi interesting story of power, of loneliness, of weak individual with a lot of power and a strong individual with limited power. So the queen is born into this amazing power, but she's a very weak person. Again, like I'm trying to disassociate this story from the actual history. Like I have no idea what Queen Anne was like in real life. So I'm talking about the character in the movie The Favorite. She's an absolute doormat. She's a needy, pathetic human being. Spiritually very, very weak, mentally weak, physically destroyed. She is suffering from a disease. So it's very difficult to be mentally strong, spiritually strong when your body is failing you. It's so you can't really blame her for that because a sound mind and a sound body, when your body is fucked up, when you have serious disease, it's very difficult. Even when you have a cold, you're not yourself. When I have a cold, that's it. I don't know. I'm not myself anymore. I can't work. I can't focus. I can't do anything. So when you have a chronic disease, horrendous, such a horrendous disease as hers, yeah, I can't expect anything from her. But um, whatever it is, she's a very weak person. Very strong character. You can't be a weak fucking person and a strong character. She is a strong character, and it's accomplished by very talented acting, and the actress who played her did an amazing job. I believed her. I believed her pain. I believed her weakness. I believed her neediness. I believed when she was trying to pretend to be strong and saying, "Oh, I don't care about her," while she, at the same time, while she was dying inside and she craved Rachel Weisz's character back. I believed every single emotion she portrayed, every single, even swift of emotion, even hint of emotion. That was amazing. So that just goes to tell you, like, if you have a mediocre screenplay, but you have superb actors, they can pull it off, and your movie can become the fucking best UK movie, whatever, at the Academy Awards. Okay, whatever. And Rachel Weisz, the same thing. She was an amazingly strong personality, amazingly powerful personality. Wasn't born into the kind of power that Queen Anne was born into, but she was born with the spirit of a champion, the spirit of a killer, real killer, like in a business world, not the serial killer. Although I wouldn't put that past her. It's she could have done that too. And the acting also added to that, so they were amazing. Oh, and Emma Stone, her character is somewhat in between. She's a sneaky little thing, but she makes the best out of what she has. She uses cunning, and Rachel Weisz uses blunt truth, blunt force. That's why I like Rachel Weisz character a little bit more. I prefer blunt force over this cunning, poisonous, snaky little bitch. But again, the character was strong, the acting was superb, and the power dynamic between those two was also interesting. I didn't like that there was no payoff. Um, like in a regular movie, you like when somebody does some sneaky shit, hides some letters. So Rachel Weisz's character sends letters of somewhat like apology to wanting to amend their relationship with the queen, and Emma Stone hides those letters, burns them. And I was waiting for some redemption, some something that would actually come back and bite Emma Stone in the ass, but it never happened. But then again, it's not a regular by the numbers movie, so I wasn't too torn up about that. And if you look at an actual history, that's what happened. Lady Churchill lost her relationship, lost her power over the Queen, and she indeed had to leave England. So their relationship never got better. Uh, her After Queen died, Lady Churchill got back in power. She was all fine. With the new administration, she had no problems. But with Queen Anne, they never fixed their relationship, so it was realistic. But again, it's pretty much just um, assumption or wishful thinking or, well, made up thing that it was Abigail Emma Stone who was the reason for that, who burned the letters. But again, I'm not too mad about that because you can't be 100% accurate anyway. And to add this for dramatic effect uh, was not a deal breaker for me. And I like the style of this director overall. I watched The Killing of the Sacred Deer, and if even though that movie is kind of stupid, but I loved watching it. I enjoyed myself watching it. So it's not it's not that bad. I don't regret watching it. I don't regret having watched it. Same with this one. I haven't seen Lobster yet. Uh, After this, The Favorite, I'm absolutely certain I will want to see Lobster. And now it's more understandable. Yeah, he is that kind of a director that generates a certain buzz around his name, and A-list actors like to work with him. After this one, after so many awards, I'm pretty sure he's gonna blow up even more. So overall, it's good, but I would not watch it again.